Hello, my name's John Wadsworth. I'm an astrologer and I'm looking at the astrology of 2010, particularly between June, where we are now, and the middle of August, where we have this incredible lineup of planets, Jupiter-Uranus in conjunction in Aries, opposing Saturn on the cusp of Virgo and Libra, and Pluto in Capricorn. I'm also interested in the Neptune-Chiron conjunction in Aquarius, and particularly what I want to talk about now is the Gulf oil spill. This extraordinary event, pivotal event perhaps, in terms of where we are, and the way that Obama is reacting so strongly against it at the moment, against BP at the moment, making them accountable, and the tensions this is causing between the USA and Britain. There are some real giveaways astrologically. First of all, the Neptune-Chiron conjunction happened at the end of Aquarius, 27-28 degrees of Aquarius. Now, this is a really important degree in a number of the charts that are implicated here. First of all, if we look at the USA chart, I mean, Obama's talking about this having the effect this is having on the US psyche. He's comparing it to 9/11 in terms of the impact on the US psyche. We look at the American chart, which I've got on the screen here. America has its moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So the Neptune-Chiron conjunction happens at 27 degrees of Aquarius, right on the US moon, tapping right into the psyche of the US people. That's what the moon is in astrology. It represents the deep that deep sense of security, that deep sense of emotional connection, belonging, that need to feel safe and secure has been undermined. Neptune undermines things, and Neptune was right on there with Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. Neptune and Chiron are together. That wound taps right at the heart of the psyche of this nation. Now, what's interesting also, we look at the chart of the BP incorporation in 1909, I think it is, let me just check that. The BP incorporation chart, 1909, 14th of April. Chiron is at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So this has happened on the Chiron return, the second Chiron return of the BP chart, of the BP organisation. Neptune also on Chiron. Neptune conjunct Chiron in the BP chart. BP's got quite a checkered history anyway. What I can see from it is that the last time this happened as well, there was some really quite dodgy stuff happening with BP. Here it is again, Neptune Chiron conjunct the natal Chiron, an absolute giveaway. Now, what's even more interesting is when we look at the chart of the CEO, Tony Hayward, the CEO of BP, he has Chiron in Aquarius, within a few degrees of that conjunction, and he has the moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius, right on the US moon, right on the degree where this Neptune-Chiron conjunction has hit. Really amazing. And look what's happening to him. He in some way is representing the deep wound. He's connected to the deep wound in the American psyche. He's connected to the oil spill here. It's almost inevitable. I think the undermining of his own, in his own life. This has got to be the biggest event of his life. And here we are with one of the most important transits he will ever have had in his life. Extraordinary. Again, that Neptune undermining, Neptune pulls the rug from underneath us. And, an oil spill is an obvious Neptunian manifestation. Anything which leaks out, which spills. Oil, I would tend to associate with Pluto, but this is oil that's being drilled from under the sea and spilling out into the ocean. I mean, just the most horrific consequences. I mean, we can't even begin to contemplate the consequences of this. It is a Neptunian issue. Neptune-Chiron taps the wound, the unsustainability of energy policy. Look at what Obama is saying as well. Obama's coming out now with this really strong stance. He's talking about this as a watershed moment, a pivotal moment where we now need to look at alternatives to oil. There's some radical moves here, and it's interesting that Obama's really come out since Jupiter and Uranus made their conjunction in Aries. So this, I think, is really an important part of this. There's a shift that's happened in the last 10 days since that conjunction was made, and I think we're going to see some really radical stuff coming out. I think we're really at the beginning of this. I think Obama now can in a way use what's happened, take what's happened in the Gulf, and to put forward more of his own agenda around alternative energy, which is, I think, is a big part of the Jupiter-Uranus energy which is now coming in. Don't forget, we're in a cardinal T-square here, lining up to a cardinal cross on the 26th of June, and again in August we have another major cardinal cross in August. On the cardinal cross, things force for change. There's a force for change. I've been talking a lot about this, and I'm giving workshops about this cross and about the impact of this over the summer in our own personal lives, as well as looking at global issues. But this, when we were on the mutable cross, as we were with the Saturn-Uranus opposition last year, there was still room for manoeuvre. There were still ways of manipulating situations and getting around things. On the cardinal cross, there isn't. Things come to a head, the truth will out, things are forced to the surface, and with Jupiter and Uranus in Aries as well, there's much more direct language coming out of politicians' mouths. Really interesting. Obama is being really direct, confrontational. The special relationship between the USA and Britain, I've been looking at that as well. The British chart is really plugged into this. I've been taking the 1066 chart for Britain. Has Sun and Moon. It's a new moon chart in Capricorn, in the early degrees of Capricorn, right with the midheaven, Pluto crossing over those degrees. So total transformation here for Great Britain, and the implications, I think, for Britain over this time are really immense. Especially now Jupiter and Uranus have joined in Aries, we're going to see some major cultural shift in this country. But the relationship between Britain and America, you can see the special relationship between the two countries. It's very obvious. We look at the United Kingdom birth chart here. America has Jupiter in Cancer at 5 degrees. So Pluto's been opposing that as well. So Pluto opposite Jupiter is the ruling planet of the American chart, the 1776 chart. It has a Sagittarian ascendant. Pluto opposite fundamental death and rebirth experience of the American identity. In the 7th house, this is impacted with its closest ally or partner, which has got to be Britain. So Britain, in a way, sits in that 7th house of the American chart. It's a Venus-Jupiter conjunction in the American chart, and all of that in the British chart, as the synastry sits right opposite the Sun-Moon midheaven conjunction in the British chart. The American natal planet stuff sits in Cancer right at the root of that. Normally just sitting very comfortably there. There's a comfortable relationship. But with all this stuff happening this year with the Grand Cross, with Pluto, Jupiter-Uranus now in Aries, this is being blown apart. I think we're going to see some real severing, some division, as we are now seeing, between this nice cosy relationship that we've had between Britain and America. It's going to change, I'm certain of it. And the shadow of that relationship is going to come out more as well. We're going to see the shadow side now of that coziness between them. We're really in extraordinary times. 2010, as I keep saying, is the astrologer's 2012. This is where a condensed period of accelerated change is happening. It's happening for all of us. It's happening in our individual lives as well as collectively in the world. Over the summer, I'm running a series of workshops called the Astrology of Now. I'm running them in London, I'm running them in Sussex, in Lewes in Sussex, I'm running them in Glastonbury, and I'm opening up other workshops as well around the UK. Details are on my website, which is www.kairosastrology.co.uk.